Okay, good morning. This is Friday morning, the 19th or 20th of April, 2024. I'm about to show you a video that was shot over 4 years ago. It was in March 4 years ago. This video is going to be sent to Caroline Clinton, the HOA manager. It's been a concern of mine for years. Woody Scouten wrote up this tract over 10 years ago for being out of compliance. As far as I'm concerned, it's still out of compliance. What you're looking at, let's start, and then I'll just go through the video. There's a lot of things I want to show you in this video about my problem with the HOA and why I feel I'm paying tribute. I've been paying tribute for 19 years and not having the use with a golf cart of Tract A. Tract A was taken out of service for golf carts 7 years ago. They put a sign up. They pleased our snowbirds. I'm not surprised. I had a friend tell me the other day they were going down the freeway and they saw a big sign on the freeway, one of them digital signs that said, "Snowbirds, go home." Now I understand why. The reason this tract, what you're about to see, is so out of compliance is the snowbirds that live on each side of the tract don't want to share this. Neither do they want to share it, but also on top of that, the HOA, the town of Buckeye, and the golf course don't want to spend the money to fix it. So let's get started so I can shame you. I'm trying to shame Craig Eustace. I'm trying to shame Woody Scouten. I'm trying to shame the mayor of Buckeye. I'm trying to shame the golf course concessionaires and the people. Once the Tract A was dug out from what it was originally, the two people on Tract A, each side of Tract A, lost face. They lost face in the neighborhood. For 8 or 10 years, they told anybody that walked up near Tract A that it wasn't a walking easement. And then around 12 or 14, 2013, they dug it out, right? Made them look like idiots for telling everybody, you can't walk here. And then it was open for almost 3 years. It was open as a golf cart access, pedestrian access. Everybody had access to it until they started wearing down. Every golf cart, every time it went over that threshold, pushed the threshold down. That threshold was engineered to survive a 100-year storm without being letting water on the golf course. Every time a golf cart went over it for 3 years, all they did was push down the threshold. They let the water out early. Now, what you're going to witness, and I'll try to keep quiet, and I'm going to be bouncing around this video, going from place to place on it to show you. See that? You're looking at 175 feet of retention. And it finally broke out. And that's why they stopped the golf carts from going over Tract A. Tract A was pushing down. Where that water's breaking out a couple of years before when they first established the threshold, before the golf cart started going over it, you're looking at water storage right here. You're storing water in a retention basin up here. This is a breeding ground for bugs. Any golfer to look at how that's the tee box flooded. Wherever you see it's wide, that's where it's deep. This was a hail and rainstorm in March 4 years ago. And you're going to see how the water is diverted away from the tract. All right. As you see where it's dipped and it's starting to thin out, pretty soon the water's going to stop running. And that crevice, right now, nobody's done anything about it. That crevice is a sense of pride for the golf course, the HOA, and the town of Buckeye. Why they take pride in it is because I didn't get them to change it. They take pride in it is because no golf carts are allowed to go over it. Now, that that crevice, that Grand Canyon, I worked for United Airlines, I worked for US Airways, I worked for America West. They all had safety programs. I'd like to shame everybody that had anything to do with this. That's a fall trip hazard. When I worked at United Airlines, I had to take every year, there you go, there's the one that is in front of my house. Isn't that pretty? You should be embarrassed. You should be embarrassed to see this. This is how you screwed up the drainage in Tract A. You put a threshold at the end of Tract A, and after a couple years of the golf carts going over it every day, what they did is they pushed down that threshold. They let the water out early. That's why when Dan Veskerna came in, he was in communication with the clubhouse. They all agreed we can't allow the golf cart through there anymore. If we allow the golf carts to go through there, they keep pushing down. They keep pushing down. I had to turn the volume off. But look, they divert the water that's supposed to go out over Tract A and onto the golf course gets diverted at the threshold and gets diverted at lot 317. Isn't that pretty? Aren't you proud of that? And every rainstorm it gets worse. Now this is the tree they planted in front of my house after I bought the house. When I bought the house and they figured out we don't like this guy, he isn't supposed to be living there. One of our old goat lodge brothers should be living there. What they did is they planted a tree there, and now I've got a ruined view. Okay? And we're down on the golf cart path. All right? Everything you see here is because all the dimensions for the lot lines are over what they should be. They put too much dirt. And eventually we're going to see, you see this right here? I want to stop this here. That is an engineered, on the blueprints, retention basin. This whole green has been sculptured and graded to feed this retention basin. Okay, this is here for storms, and it runs off. Now we'll start again, and it runs off into the lake where it's supposed to. Now they put a mini retention basin between my house and my neighbor's house, just like that, only there was no runoff. My retention basin between my two houses, isn't that pretty? Now, everybody's screaming about what I did to my lot. For you to see anything on my lot and on my patio, you have to walk up to those plants. There's the hail. That's the hail. But right now, when they play golf, all this up here above the cart path is bailout area for these long tees. If you put the out of bounds markers right here next to the sidewalk, you'd make golfers focus more on putting it in the fairway. The trouble with the design deficiency of the sixth hole is that middle ground between the ladies' tee off area and the seating area where that box was is all downhill. Now I'm walking up right now. I want to show you what it looks like, and we'll let you see what it sounds like. Let's see what it sounds. And that, we're not even, the storm is gone. This wasn't the 100-year storm. This was just a March storm, and it wasn't the 100-year storm. But you see how fast that water is running? That water is running fast because they added 89 feet to that pipe, and they dropped it 5 feet. They almost doubled the restrictive flow rate in that pipe. The flow rate for water in that pipe should be no more than 10 feet a second. They've got it way, way over that. Okay, way over it. Okay, this right here is what they call an alluvial plain. Anybody had earth science? That's an alluvial plain. And they don't fill this in. This ditch right now is 4 years old. It's had 4 years more storms than this, and it's twice as wide and twice as deep. And it's a trip fall hazard. But like I said, the golf concession, the HOA, and the town engineers in Buckeye, the city engineers in Buckeye, take pride in this. You didn't replace us. You didn't make this a golf cart path. And the reason they put that sign up 7 years ago that got me kicked out of the HOA is because I bitched about this. Okay? And now, here's look at that. Trip fall hazards all over the place. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. We're going to stop right here. I think you understand now that Tract A, you should be embarrassed. Everybody, Craig Hustis, you're a town